Good morning. It's September 20th, 21st day trip. It's supposed to rain a little bit this morning, but it rained almost all last night. So there's a huge band of rain running east-west through New Brunswick. And I am going to break camp this morning in the rain and head northwest to, I think it's called Mount Carleton Provincial Park. That I think is far enough north where it should get me out of the rain, but I'm not quite sure. Supposed to only get up into the 50s Fahrenheit, so it's going to be a rather cold, wet, miserable ride, at least until, or if I get out of the rain. The tent did keep me dry last night. Floor is a little bit wet over in one corner, but other than that, all my equipment is dry. I got the tent all put away, and fortunately, across from my campsite, there is a kitchen area which has an overhang, so I'm able to have a very simple breakfast this morning. Actually, not a very good breakfast of a prepackaged Danish and a thing of milk. But I am out of the rain. That's the good news. Bike is way over there, tent's down. It's ready to go.
Still have 200 kilometers to go. I got out of the rain. Kind of went in and out of the rain this morning. Stopped for now, but they're still predicting rain this afternoon, at least in this area. Just crossed the 4,000 mile mark on this trip. 21st day. It's Tuesday. It's 11:30 in the morning. I'm running along the north coast of New Brunswick. Gradually making my way west and then south. It's kind of weird. I'm headed northeast, even though I really want to head west. But there's only limited highways and roads in some of these provinces, so you have to kind of work your way around. Not always the most direct route to get to where you want to go. I have seen these signs all today on moose, which is not a happy thing to see because of the risks involved. I understand that hunting season for moose just started here in New Brunswick the last day or two, and I saw a pickup truck that drove by that had a moose in it, and they are huge compared to deer. So I was shocked by how big this moose was. In certain areas along the road, they put up wildlife fences to stop moose and other critters from crossing onto the highway. Out in the middle of the woods. Not a lot of road traffic. Not a lot of towns. Nothing in my rearview mirror. There is nothing out here. Mile after mile after mile. I need to find a spot to pull over and stretch my legs, but I hesitate to do that because the traffic I do see is predominantly logging trucks. So I don't want to be on the shoulder when they go flying by. The road is just terrible. It's full of patches and potholes. There's hardly a smooth spot on it. Mount Carleton. I think Mount Carleton is like the tallest mountain within New Brunswick, if I remember it correctly. This is the road back into the camp. There's no cell service here. There is a lodge that has some food, so I'm gonna stop at that. Looks like it's a huge provincial park. All kinds of hiking trails. This is my campsite for the night at the provincial park, and I'm the only one here. It was raining earlier, so I had lunch at that lodge, and it's about a 10-minute ride from there over to my spot right here on the lake. Really pretty campsite. Still raining. Got my camp set up though. Ranger said this is one of the most coveted sites because it has its own private little beach down here. Up there is where he had a late lunch, early dinner. I didn't have much, but enough. I bought it, I was hungry. This is Mount Carleton Park. Here was the entry station. Rode down. This is the lodge where they had food available, and I ate. And then over here, next to Big Nictow Lake, is the Franklin campground that I'm in. The one that has a lot more services associated with it is run on the other side of the lake, but this one has pit toilets, and it's absolutely gorgeous back here. Just gives a sense for the layout of, there's two campgrounds that face one another, much smaller than the one that I was just pointing out. This is the one that I'm in, the Franklin campground. I'm in F6. That's the little shore that I walked around. And then on the other side of the lake is the William campground. It cost me, I think, $19 or $20 per night, so pretty good deal. But for the fact that it's raining, so I'm stuck in my tent right at the moment. So this video is just to give some perspective on kind of where I am right now. Here's Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island. I came off of that, went down to Fundy National Park, and then worked my way up today along the shoreline all the way up to 180, and took 180 across to Mount Carleton. And then up here somewhere is, there it is, Madawaska. That was one of the four corners in the Four Corner tour that I took. So I'm still, right now, Mount Carleton is over here to the east of that, although it would be a pretty quick ride, probably only an hour ride to get to Madawaska, and then I could work my way south through Maine. But if the weather holds, or if the weather improves, I should say, because it's not holding right now, if the weather improves, I would like to go to Quebec City. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, a little after 10 in the morning. Got a little bit of a late start. This is San Quentin, which is just outside the provincial park. I still have 400 kilometers to go today if I want to make it all the way into Quebec City. So far the rain's been holding off, which is very helpful. And temperatures are a little on the cool side, 53 degrees Fahrenheit, but with all the layers I have on, I didn't even need to plug in my electric jacket this morning. Had breakfast at the lodge. Wasn't much, but it was good, and it's just a beautiful lodge and nice and clean and new. I guess it opened in the winter of 2020, so it's a relatively new facility. It's a little surprised that I was the only one there this morning. I thought there might be some other campers. There was one other camper on my ring there of 8 or 9 camps. I don't know what the main campground looked like that had the facilities, but I would have thought that there would be at least a few people that would go in for breakfast. I'm heading south and west today. Hope to get to Quebec City, maybe spend tomorrow in Quebec City if the weather's decent, and then head down into New Hampshire on Friday is the plan. Great provincial park, that Carleton Mountain Provincial Park. I would love to go back there again and do some hiking and spend some more time because it was just absolutely gorgeous setting. This is my 5th Bienvenue, Quebec, my 5th Canadian province in Quebec. It's a pretty view. Very nice. It is 11:41, still in the morning, a little less than 2 hours to go. I just passed 33,000 miles on the motorcycle. Alright, we're on the outskirts of Quebec. I'm going to stay in a motel tonight. Hopefully tour a little bit of the city this afternoon. It's already almost 2:30. Hello. When is the next ferry?
In 40 minutes.
40 minutes? Okay. Thank you. Here we are at yet another ferry dock. Ferry vessel just pulled in. Well, first on, but I think I'm going to be the last motor vehicle off. What else? Maybe let me turn around. I believe this is ferry ride number 8 on this trip, if I'm not mistaken. I dropped a lot of my bags, top case and my dry bag, back at the room, and lighten up the bike a little bit, make it a little easier to maneuver in the city here. And I'm going back into Old Quebec, do some sightseeing. A little busy here. It's rush hour, I guess. Everybody's heading out of the city. No time for sightseeing now. Fortifications to Quebec. Alright, now I need to find a parking spot. Well, I'm getting a tour of the city.